Now, I believe in my earlier talk on Orissa, I seem to have mentioned Orissa as being in the northwest of India. No, even in my sleep, I know that Orissa is in the northeast of India. So if any Orient people misheard me, I assure you it's not through ignorance, it is a slip of the tongue, no fault of the mind. But the one who remarks it is very unkind. So anyway, I apologize to any Oriya people. I really know it is in the northeast. I'm very proud of Orissa. Ladies and gentlemen, many of you are familiar with Dr. Rao and Dr. Matan Joshi, who as honorary consuls of India before the present setup, have been great supporters of the arts. It is my pleasure to invite Dr. Rao to address us, as you have many times before, on occasions of this nature. Dr. Rao.
Thank you very much, Niza. Respected Swamiji, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to join you all this evening to this fundraising effort. I thought that I had retired from all public life and I'll be sitting quietly in the audience. That is what I was hoping for. But Vijay called me and said, "You have known Joyoti from her younger days. I would like you to come and say a few words." A lot of you thought that I fled the country. It is true. Going back in 2004, His Holiness Shankaracharya of Kanchi called me and asked me to help him with a hospital project in Chennai. So I closed my surgical practice of 36 years and I resigned as the Consul General for India and left for Chennai. Unfortunately, the project did not get off the ground because of some political problems. So I hung around there for 6 months. Then I realized that if I'm going to get any way involved with the hospital project, I'm not doing any justice to myself. I might be also behind the bars. So I decided to come back to Melbourne, and when I came back, the High Commissioner said, "Dr. Rao, now you are back in Melbourne, please continue with your work here." So I was working here till last August, and finally the Government of India has brought a full team from New Delhi, and myself and my colleague Dr. Joshi, who has rendered invaluable support to me. Both of us were retired on the 30th of August, and I'm now currently doing some charity work in India. I work for a charity hospital in Chennai, which has about 250 beds. Each morning there are between 1,600 to 2,000 patients who come there. I'm the honorary medical director and chief of surgery, and it gives me great pleasure that I'm able to train some younger generation of surgeons in Chennai. Having lived in Melbourne for 38 years, I have seen Joyoti grow from her younger days. I can recall the mother holding Jyoti's hand and taking her for classes with Dr. Chandrabano. Subsequently, as she started learning more and more of Bharatanatyam, she was fascinated by this style, Odissi style of dancing, and she went to Puri Jagannath, Bhubaneswar, and stayed with her Guru Sanjukta Panigrahi. She is the doyen of Odissi dance in India, and she spent a couple of years with her and mastered this technique of Odissi dance. I had the privilege of meeting her Guru Sanjukta Panigrahi and her husband Jagannath Panigrahi here in Melbourne when they came here roughly 10 or 15 years ago. From those days, what I have seen Joyoti, she has really matured into an artist of great caliber. You have seen her movements. The movements are so rhythmic and so elegant. Her facial expressions or bhavana is so beautiful that the expressions come out indicating what she wants to show you as a dancer. Today I can easily say that she is easily the best Odissi dancer in Australia, and she deserves full credit. It is my observation that most students, when they learn Bharatanatyam, Odissi or any other type of dance, once they finish their arangetram or initiation, they think they finished their job. They won't dance again. Back in India, once you finish the master's degree in surgery, they close the book, it's finished. You're a master of surgery, you're a master of medicine. That is not so. You must continue to practice and pass on your skills to the next generation. I'm absolutely delighted to see that Joyoti is keeping up with her dancing career and also passing on her skills to the younger generation who are dancing along with her today. I'm really happy that Joyoti is performing for a noble cause. In my younger days, I was a student of the Ramakrishna mission in Chennai, and I owe something to them. Education is the most important thing. All over India, the Ramakrishna mission have got schools imparting education to all sections of the community. And overseas, they got Vedic schools teaching the Vedic traditions to people who want to learn. I feel the Ramakrishna mission is doing a wonderful job and they deserve a full support. I'm greatly, very heartened to see a hall full here at this Alexander Theatre, where I initially came here in 1971 to have an Indian cultural performance along with Dr. Chandrabanu, who had just migrated to Australia at that time. And it is so heartening to see a hall full for a noble cause, and I feel the community should rally behind the Ramakrishna mission and help them in whatever way they can. I would like to conclude by thanking Bijay Das for asking me to join you all this evening, and I wish the evening well, and I will like to apologize that I'll have to leave a little early today because I have an earlier commitment. And Bijay said, Dr. Rao, I want you to be here because you have known Joyoti from her younger age. I told my other friends I'll join them later in the evening, so I apologize for leaving a bit early. Thank you all very much, and I hope the evening will go on well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rao. Swami Siddharnanda, I have great pleasure in inviting you as President of the Vedanta Centers in Australia. It is our privilege to have you with us today. Swamiji.
Dear friends, permit me at liberty to address you as children of the divine, what we are actually. We have forgotten our identity and we think we are separate entities roaming around the world. Essentially, we are the divine. You may ask, and I think you will rightly do so, as to what is a Swami supposed to be an ascetic doing here. First thing is, I have a very strong defense that you have all joined your hands to help me out by raising these funds, and will be able to propagate the teachings of the Vedanta school of thought to each and all of you to the extent we are capable of. And you have now seen today, by that very eloquent, in-depth exposition at the introduction by Nisha, my dear friend. She has given you an understanding of what India's performing art is all about. We represent, you have heard of the word name Ramakrishna Mission, you heard about Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Vivekananda, and the Holy Mother Sri Sarada Devi. And I have no words to admire and express my admiration in the last recital, in which a Bengali song was converted into an expressive music by this lady Joyoti. This is the first time I see her, I must be very frank with you. And I am admiring the in-depth of that spiritual culture which she has imbibed within herself and has the capacity to translate to you all the way she expresses her divine moods. Now dear, the second aspect is, I am here to prove it to you that asceticism or spirituality is not something isolated from the flow of life. Vedanta philosophy teaches you how to manage that flow of life without stopping it, how to manage that flow of life which will help you to manifest the potential divinity which is already within us, of which somehow or other we have forgotten. And Vedanta philosophy takes life as a whole. Each and every moment of our lives, however diverse regionally, culturally, religiously we may belong, that diversity is source of life as far as Vedanta philosophy is concerned. What Vedanta philosophy teaches us is an attitudinal correction, a change in our perspective of life, and a new concept of a perception for life. All these three, when oriented towards the constant awareness of the presence of the divine, is what Vedanta aims at. That is, the Christian sciences say purpose of life is to go back to our Maker. So does the Islamic sciences. So does the Indian spiritual sciences. There is no religion which says live away from God or live away from your true original nature, the Atman or the Brahman. Vedanta teaches you that every branch of performing art can be converted into a means of manifesting the divinity already within us by a harmonized, synchronized movement of the intellect, the movement of the emotion, and the movement of the body. Three things synchronized together, you achieve that goal which is reachable by improving the quality of your personality or your faculties. And here is an exposition perfectly done, so far away from India, such a correct exposition. I'm here only for 7 years and I'm 82 years old. So for the last 75 years I was in India and I was steeped in Indian tradition and culture, especially this aspect of spiritual culture which teaches that each and every performing art is nothing else but a means to realization of the divinity within. I must admit, the undiluted, unadulterated manner in which that art is being displayed here, presented here, is almost breathtaking for me. May God help her, and through her, let the spirit of India's spiritual culture reach you all apart from the study of philosophy. India's culture is incredible, limitless. Each and every aspect of life can be converted into a journey within yourself, a journey of spiritual adventure to meet your Maker in heaven, to manifest the potential divinity within you, or to convert yourself as a totally devoted servant of the divine. So, dears, do not segregate by the word mundane and spiritual. The whole cosmos is a divine play, and we are only indexes in that play. Let us forget our individuality and manage to merge that individuality into the divine play, and we become a part and parcel of the divine existence. This is the purpose of Vedanta, and for that purpose, this family, the Das family, Vijay Das and his daughter and Mrs. Das, they have joined hands with all of you to place before you the correct understanding of how so-called sensuous manner of display in performing arts can be converted into an avenue to develop oneness with the divine. I hope, dears, you will carry home this message with you and help yourself to manifest the potential divinity which is already within us. With these few words of prayers, let me pray to the Divine Trinity and Lord Jagannath that wisdom may dawn onto us and we become worthy children of the divine. Thank you, dears.
Swamiji. Now I'd like to call Joyoti, the person that Swamiji understands, that protects the pristine purity of the art form as worship. Joyoti Das, a sincere performer and a sincere artist. Joyoti?
Distinguished guests, Swamiji, brothers and sisters. This is funny, I stand here every time I perform and my father says, you have to do this to get used to. Used to it. I don't think I could ever get used to talking to people, but I could dance. But anyway, on a serious note, I stand here today with an enormous sense of gratitude and in a small way, a little bit satisfied for what I have done today. Looking around, I think I have achieved something really small, but I have achieved it. And for that, I thank all of you for coming here today and appreciating an art form, and also contributing to this Vedanta Society, which I think is very important in a world gone mad. You need that spiritual upbringing, and to be able to go somewhere to just sit still is actually very nice. This art brings me closer to the divine. It enables me to express my inner self through this art. and in a small way give back to this society, who at some point is so distant from what and where we come from, and that which is India. I'm also grateful to be involved with the Vedanta Society and the Ramakrishna Order, and being able to give a little towards this great cause is also my satisfaction. My association with this order began when Mataji Ajayprana attended my Arangetram, which was not that long ago, but it was a long time ago, in Bharatanatyam, and has done so every year after that. Every performance she has been here. But this has now become different. I have Swamiji, and I'm raising funds for the Vedanta Society in Melbourne. That is a huge step. And I thank Sri Dharananda Maharaj for attending my performance today for the first time. Thank you very much. Just a few people to acknowledge without whom this would not have happened. Every time I do this, I always have 5 or 6 people who come and say, I will help and I will support you. And a simple thank you to these people is just not enough. I am eternally grateful to all of you, and I'm of course talking about the light man, the sound man, the stage manager, the stage decorator, who works very silently and you will never see him. He's actually in fact sitting at the back, and if anything goes wrong to the stage, he'll be there ready to fix that up. To all of you, I am eternally grateful. Your help means a lot. Without you, this can't happen. I would like to thank my students who you saw today, who constantly make me think, and who constantly are making me learn, and gives me the opportunity to experiment with what I can and what I can't do. Takes me out of my comfort zone, which I enjoy. Tonight I feel especially happy because I finally got a student of mine to dance on her own in my own program, and a mother-daughter duo to perform together. I don't know whether that shows my age, but I am deeply grateful for being able to do that. I would like to thank my parents, without whom I obviously wouldn't be here, and I probably wouldn't be dancing if it wasn't for them. And this is not a family affair because I'm thanking them. It is because my parents have an enormous love for this art form. Not just Odissi, but any art form, any classical art form. And that kind of rubs off on us, and has rubbed off on us. I would also like to thank my brothers. I have 2, one who's here with us, who's my cousin, and the other brother who lives in America, who is constantly ringing up to say, you better dance properly or else it's just not going to happen. And yes, he is always there. He's also busy looking after 2 little girls, who one of them said, I want to learn dance like auntie as well, so there's another one. My father, whom I'm sure you all have met, for the time and effort he puts in making these programs possible. The brochures, the aesthetics, the running of the program, it's all him. Printing out run sheets, talking to people. If it wasn't for my dad, this wouldn't have happened. I couldn't ask for anything wrong. Last but not least, I would like to thank every single one of you for supporting me and for supporting my service, my humble service. Through this dance I pray for the strength and humility and to be of service to a cause, and that cause being Ramakrishna Mission and the Vedanta Society. Thank you very much. Before I go, I would also like to call upon my brother today, my cousin, who is going to say a few words. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Didi. Swamiji, ladies and gentlemen, it is my very pleasant duty tonight to say a few words in appreciation of many things and many people. This is a special evening for true lovers of art. The classical traditions have been brought to us over centuries. They have been maintained by great gurus and artists. In a world where the evolution of dance and music never stops, it is not easy for an artist in the classical tradition to keep the art form pure and untouched. Joyoti, my Didi, has my deep felt admiration for her passion and sincerity. As a young person, watching her maintain Odyssey in its purity is wonderful. This would, however, not be possible without the support of art lovers like you, the audience. It is only when you come to watch a performance that the artist finds the courage to keep it going. It is also time to thank our generous supporters and sponsors, including ANZ Bank and Roshi's Opal. Let me also take this opportunity to announce the winner of the ANZ Lucky Draw. It's Mr. A. Sinha. I'm told that ANZ will be in touch with you. Once again, I thank you, the audience, for being part of this wonderful evening. Thank you. I'll hand it over to Auntie Nesa to continue with the second half of the program. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Rupak.